EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Commanders Field, located near our nation's capital here in Landover, Maryland. Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And off we go in our nation's capital. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Right to the air is Daniels. Buying time to his left. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain. Here's Daniels. Short throw here to the tight end Bates. So give him 2 yards there on the completion. And that will bring up second down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Daniels looking to throw. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Milton Williams. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, they'll spot it right in midfield at the 50. Pretty good job escaping the pressure. Gets him 15 yards on the scramble, but now it's 4th down.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on 2nd down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. It certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. And now a whistle and a timeout called by the kicking team. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. They'll run for it with Robinson. And boy, is he close. Did he get there? No, they're going to say he's short of the line to gain. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game. And this defense delivers a turnover on downs on the very first drive of the afternoon. They run with a dangerous Saquon Barkley. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
Hurts throw here taken in as he's able to find Goddard. And he's got this down to the 35. 14 yards there and an Eagle first down. They go play action with Hurts. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
Oh, and Hurts is going to be hit and taken down to the ground. They need 18 yards here on 3rd down. Off the play fake, here's Hurts. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely, just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. It hurts not coming to the sideline. They're going to go for it. They'll look to throw. He's got Dallas Goedert, his tight end, over the middle. But they're going to wrap him up as he'll go down well short of a first. The Eagles unable to convert there on fourth. And Washington will have it on the turnover on downs. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And a drive that stalled out last time. Went for it on fourth, didn't get it. How does that translate here? I would imagine momentum's with the defense.
Definitely with the defense, because anytime anyone goes for it on fourth down, that's telling you as a defense that you can't stop us. We don't think that you can. And when you actually do, that may put a little dent in the confidence of the offense the next time they hit the field.
Yeah, we'll see if they can bring that pride, the offense, this go-around.
That to the sideline and incomplete. Boy, they're going to say there's a receiver in the area. That was close to grounding, but it's second down. Now Daniels.
And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test them early. But they proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he has another first down as he'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 31-yard line.
The rookie from LSU leading this offense well. A good throw there leads to a first down. Second quarter now from our nation's capital, and it's Washington in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. To throw is Daniels.
And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Throwing now is Daniels.
Eluding the pressure right.
Oh, a Cardinal sin there. Thrown back over the middle, and it's intercepted. And the Eagles are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line.
A young quarterback, Charles, rolling to his right. I know he's right-handed, but is that one that maybe a veteran sticks in his pocket?
I think so, but you have to remember with young quarterbacks, it may take a few years before they get all the stuff out of them that they did earlier in their career or even in their college days when they were used to being dominant. In this case, the NFL veteran defense ended up winning the battle.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on first down to set him back on second.
Play action. Here's Hurts. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 38.
Hurts throws complete to Goddard.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
That one good for 20 on the catch and run. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
Barkley, inside handoff. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success.
Here we go now on 1st and goal. Barkley is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Some good running there at the end of the drive. He had the burst that set up the 1st and goal, and then 1 play later, he's in the end zone.
Brandon, what I liked about that sequence is I'm not sure who made the play call, but they understood the situation, understood the momentum. A nice hard-charging run, give it right back to him, and let him cap things off.
Elliott good with a PAT, and that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And not a great decision to bring it out there as he's tackled just beyond the 10. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well for this offense, gaining chunks of yardage, getting first downs, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short memory here. Don't focus on the interception. Focus on what came before it and get back to it. Well, this is a half where not just the coverage, but the entire defense is setting the tone in this game.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. They give it off here to the tight end. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. A rough go there on 3rd down, a loss of 4.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Come on.
They'll bring the tight end in motion right.
Daniel's going to throw for it.
On the move to his left. And the ball is knocked out. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And he'll take this back down inside the 20.
You can admire his willingness to sacrifice his body to try and pick up the first down, and I do.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to South Florida at Hard Rock Stadium here in Miami. Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And we are underway from Miami. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. On play action, here's Tua. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
And going deep for Hill. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
And we're going to see this offense try and spread the field a little bit and utilize the outside third of the field, especially against man coverage. But that time, the defense was up to the task, forcing the incompletion.
And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Tua now on first down.
Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
Now a 2nd and 10. They'll run for the first time with Raheem Mostert, and he'll make it only to the 43, a gain of 2.
Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on third down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Throwing is Tagovailoa on third down here. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Setting to throw on first down is Tua. And going deep for Hill.
A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted.
And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football as they force the turnover on the opening drive.
They went for the deep shot early, and that's fine, but I don't think it was the right target to throw it to. You had 3 other guys sprinting downfield, and I thought 2 of them were open. Could have avoided an interception there by attacking a different player in coverage.
Hurts throw complete here to his receiver, Brown.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
Well, the first drive here and the first time that we've called a big tight end's name, but I can assure you this, Charles, it won't be the last.
No, it won't, because when he gets going, now it opens up opportunities on the perimeter because that'll draw the defense towards him in the middle of the field. Now your wide receivers are getting involved as this game goes on.
That's good for a first down, his second catch of the opening drive.
Here's Hurts to throw.
And this is caught. It's Brown.
And he'll be touched down in the end, but a big play on that one.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
1st and goal, a chance to convert that early turnover into points.
They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And he's going to pull his way down to about the 1-yard line. Good yardage on first down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? Another try for Barkley. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown.
A touchdown run there from a yard out. And the Eagles use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one.
Elliott good on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
Tagovailoa to throw on 2nd down here. Flushed out right.
To a hit, and the ball is out.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. On first down, Tagovailoa under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Now Tua. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. Third down.
That was not a real confident throw right there, and he's just 2 of 7 to start the game. Now he's going to have to find a groove with a big third down coming up. Let's see if his confidence can increase.
A quick slant to Hill. And a nice job there defensively. They get him to the ground short of the first, right around the 42. Tua on fourth down. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked off by... We're at the home of the Super Bowl 52 champions, Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. Now Purdy. Connects with Kittle underneath. Oh, he sheds himself free. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. A big play that time on the catch and run. And it'll result in a fresh set of downs.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. Second down. And they'll come up 2nd and 7. Purdy. And Kittle catching the slant. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Again, McCaffrey. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering.
And this time he is in.
Yes.
Christian McCaffrey from 3 yards out. And the 49ers will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Purdy will throw for it.
It's caught. And it's 8-0.
So what do you make of that? You go on the road, you score the opening drive touchdown, opt to go for 2, and all of a sudden they're up 8-zip.
Yeah, this wasn't a decision that they made right here and right now. They made this decision during the week. Hey, if we get the ball and score right away, let's show them that we feel like we're superior. Go for 2 and really put the pressure on them.
Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Hurts sets up to throw it. Pass to Brown. He's got it on the crossing route. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. That one out wide and intercepted. Picked up by Talanoa Hufanga. The 20. And a terrific return there. They're finally able to corral him down near the 11-yard line. Now we're 1st and 10 at the 11. Play action, and now here's Purdy to throw it.
Now a battle for the football. It's caught. It's a touchdown. George Kittle, an 11-yard touchdown.
And the Niners are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. They've got to be thrilled on the road right now. Touchdown, turnover, touchdown, and quickly trying to make it 14-0.
Yeah, and mentioned it already. On the road, to be able to go into someone else's house and establish a start like that, obviously your confidence rises in a big way, and you're putting some doubt in their minds.
So here's Moody back out there now to send this one away.
And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown. So decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan? Or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Throwing is Hurts.
Being chased out left.
And that's going to be incomplete.
This defense has passed its first 2 tests by forcing back-to-back incompletions. They know that there's probably another throw coming on 3rd down. Let's see if they decide to force the issue by sending people on a blitz.
Hurts. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. Now 2nd quarter action from Philadelphia, and it's the Eagles in possession. And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. They'll run with Barkley. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. This will be caught by Brown. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. A very solid gain of 27. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 34. Up the middle with Barkley. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Running again with Barkley on 2nd down. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
They'll throw on 1st down with Hurts. Steps away to his left. And this is caught at the 8. And the Eagles are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
A 1st down carry for Barkley. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2. So 2nd and goal, and standing by himself in the backfield, Barkley. He's going to get it again. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. The San Francisco defense trying to hold tough again. This is 3rd and goal. Back to throw here. And Goddard's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. A 3-yard touchdown pass. And the Eagles are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Bouncing back nicely from that bad opening drive where he threw the interception. Drive number 2 leads him right down the field and into the end zone.
So obviously his confidence was never lost, and that's a good thing to see. Great quality to have. You absolutely must maintain that as a quarterback. I have to think that they're probably still on the script that they prepared for this game. Just a second drive. They've worked on these plays all week in practice. Put them to good use on that one.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Well, this offense looks like they have a little extra pep in their step as they take the field here for drive number 3, because remember, Charles, drives 1 and 2 both ended in the end zone.
Yeah, right now they've just got to be careful not to lean into overconfidence, because every drive has a life of its own. But I like the way that they've started, the way that they're going about doing things right now. They've got a chance for that 3rd consecutive touchdown, and that would be a crushing blow to the defense.
Here's 2nd and 7. Purdy looking to throw. He'll get this out wide here to McCaffrey. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
They're going to be stopped up on this first down run. He might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. 2nd and 10. Shotgun now with Purdy. That's caught by Ayuk on the slant.
Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1.
Back to throw, Purdy.
They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. Touchdown!
Christian McCaffrey
as the first half is winding down.
And the 49ers will extend their lead here just before halftime. Well, just a sensational start for this offense, Charles. 3 drives, 3 passing touchdowns.
Is that like mentioning a perfect game in baseball? Or are we cool to do it here in football, partner?
No, I think you can do it here in football. I think perfect game in baseball, that's its own category.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. Could not imagine a worse start for that secondary, or let's face it, a better one for this offense. No chance they stop passing now the way that it's going. I think we'll continue to press the ball downfield and hopefully reap the same results.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. A gutsy call there. Yates at the locker room with a lead. Tried the onside kick. It didn't work.
And you just wonder what the gain was there. They were already in the lead. They were in control of the game. They may have given momentum now to their opponent and maybe kick-started things going in the opposite direction.
A wild throw there, and it is intercepted. It's Jair Brown who's got it. And the Niners are going to take over once again, and they'll have it at their own 8-yard line. So the penalty there winds up on the offense, so obviously it's declined, and we have a change of possession. Purdy to throw it on first down.
Completes it to the tight end, Kittle.
And way up past the 35 before he's taken down.
Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
Purdy will set up to throw it here.
And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey.
And not much room to speak of. He'll get about 3 up to the 41. Now third down and 7. They go play action here. Purdy. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit. A lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
He cannot wiggle free. They stop him at the line on fourth down. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Eagles are going to take over in great field position. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. This short throw caught by Goddard, and he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. But first down, Hurts. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36.
And Nick Bosa so quick on the outside. He gets in there to bring him down.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts.
And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Well, when the running game's not working, sometimes you just got to take a few more chances down the field. That's a good effort, but it winds up incomplete.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll drop to throw. Touchdown, Philadelphia! Saquon Barkley, 36 yards.
And the Eagles get a bit closer.
That's a score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
And this is going to be caught, so they do get it. And the 2 points, now they're back down to a 1-score deficit. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive.
This now a 10-point game, so things tightening a little bit after that last score.
The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too. I see the surprise in the face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. And that's knocked away and incomplete.
Textbook coverage right there. Played the ball, never lost sight of where it was headed, and stayed in perfect position to make a play on it. Able to keep the receiver and the quarterback in his sight lines.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Here's Purdy. Open man is Juwan Jennings. Down the left sideline.
Touchdown 49ers.
Juwan Jennings.
60 yards.
And the Niners are able to stretch out their lead. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game.
And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful, and that bumps their lead up even further.
So following the touchdown, here's Moody back out to send it away.
And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
Off the play fake, here's Hurts.
Dancing to his left. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Leonard Floyd, the old Georgia Bulldog, finding his way into the backfield.
He's known for his legs and his fancy footwork, but he's not getting much of a chance to use it here. The defense continued to hold the upper hand by bringing him down on that play.
Looking here for Smith downfield. Launches deep. A jump ball, and this is caught. A big play there for Philly. 57 yards.
Pretty good timing. He waited just enough for that post play to develop and laid it right in there.
And you know what a lot of teams do when they decide to throw a post route? Because it's a little bit longer developing play. They max protect. Bring everyone in, keep the tight end in, an extra back to make sure the quarterback has time to deliver the football.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts.
Buying time to his left. And it's complete right back in the hands of Smith. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. This duo locked in, 14 yards there, and a first down.
Those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
I have to laugh a little bit because he actually handed it off. I thought with the 2 touchdown passes he's thrown in this one already, he'd go ahead and fling and try and get a 3rd one.
Yeah, now from this touchdown, Eagles.
Jalen Hurts on target to Dallas Goedert. And the Eagles have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. All right, so this one not quite over yet. Back to a 2-score game, CD.
Yeah, and you've still got 4+ minutes to go, so when you think about comebacks, it's happened before. Now, it hasn't happened often, but you've got to think to yourself, let's be the next great comeback story and play this one out.
And around the goal line, especially on 2-point tries, sometimes the QB's best friend is that big target, the tight end.
I love how you described it because you know he's going to have some length and some catch radius as well as a big body to keep people away from the football.
Well, CD, you understand. I mean, they're so eager trying to get back in this game here in the 4th quarter, but they touched that one a little too early before it went 10 yards.
Brandon, in such a high-stakes scenario, everyone's feeling the pressure on this play. The special teams coordinator, which one is he going to pick in terms of kicks? Can the kicker execute it? Can the team wait for 10 yards? So many variables, and in this case, they didn't get it done.
Throwing on 2nd down, it's Purdy.
And this is caught. Jennings. Touchdown, 49ers. Juwan Jennings. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far.
And the 49ers are an extra point away from making this a 3-score game. An important score there, CD, and now an important extra point because it would make it a 3-score game.
Love the math there, and at this point in the 4th quarter, look, we all need next-gen stats, right? We all use them, but we don't need them here, do we? Because that means it's almost a certain victory.
They'll give it to the fullback up the middle. And he will bowl his way in there for the 2 points. Nothing fancy there on that 2-point try. Give it to the big boy and let him go to work.
That almost felt like sandlot football that we used to play, didn't it? Biggest guy on your team who can carry the ball, hand it to him and let him rumble.
Nobody picked me on the sandlot football team.
You were quarterback, and I know better.
I was the water boy. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. 39 yards there, a big one.
To get back in this ball game, big plays are going to be necessary. And here's one right on cue. Coming up with 3 scores here in the 4th is not going to be an easy task. But that's good work there to bite off a chunk of yards.
And Barkley will try to punch it in. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Philadelphia. Saquon Barkley with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Eagles are able to cut into that deficit. And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for two.
Hurts will throw.
That's caught at the 2. And he will get into the end zone to cut the lead a little bit further. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the 49er hands team does its job. The risk reward of the onside kick. When you don't get it, the risk comes out to play. And here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling. And whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things, now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
Ayuk going to go in motion right.
A little jet sweep to start the drive. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And he's just going to be short here. Barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Purdy on the sneak. And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the first. That one a backbreaker as they wind up converting there on 4th.
But when it's 4th and inches, shouldn't you pick up the first down? I mean, shouldn't you go for it? I mean, if you can't get inches, right, why are you playing?
And on inches, that's your favorite play, right? Don't mess with handing it off. Just go ahead and get the surge and go right up the gut.
Exactly. Create that. Just a little bit of space should get it done. You're almost able to take the snap and just fall down and pick it up. They got it there.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. From the shotgun to McCaffrey. 41 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Throwing here, Purdy. And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down. Purdy now to throw.
Looking for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And the Eagles are going to get the ball back on the turnover as they hold on 4th down. Now with that interception, you feel like we got a ball game again. Remember, 2-score contest and still time left here in the 4th.
And in the old days, not too long gone either. Throwing the ball here would have been an absolute no-no, but the way the game's played now, throwing it makes sense. You just have to be careful when you put it in the air.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's second down.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there.
That to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
Back-to-back incompletions, but we know this is definitely 4-down territory. Time not on their side. I don't think they want to try and get the first down in 2 installments. I think they got to go and get it right here, right now.
From the gun, it's Hurts.
He's going to let it fly. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line.
They need to score, and score quick. 1 timeout remaining. Final minute. 1st and 10.
And this is caught for a touchdown. So hang on now. Things just got a little bit more interesting here in the final minute.
No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting. But I am excited about this, and I know you are too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done. Elliott good with a PAT. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one.
They show run with 3 tight ends here on 1st down.
Up the gut, McCaffrey. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
Third down and 1. Purdy bootlegging it.
Got a man right side. It's McCaffrey. And he'll get nothing out of that one.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
Charles, normally when you see a group score this many
We're at the home of the Super Bowl 52 champions, Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. It's an old-school battle in the Keystone State of Pennsylvania. The Eagles and the Steelers are underway.
Cordero Patterson to return it, bringing it out of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. First carry for Najee Harris.
And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on first down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on second.
Now run straight ahead with Warren. And he'll get a couple up to the 29.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. Throwing is Wilson.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 36 yards.
They made that way too easy for them. No one is supposed to be that open against an NFL defense. Once he caught the ball, there wasn't anybody close enough to stop him. And he was able to continue downfield after making the catch.
A handoff for Warren.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And here's another tackle made at the line. So they're converging well on the football now. Officially nothing on that one, no gain. So they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down. Now Wilson. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Boswell's kick is good, and the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. Had just the one big play on the drive, but that was enough to put him in field goal range.
Yeah, one big play of what they hope will be many others throughout the game. Every team has a different target for the number of plays like that, those explosives that we talk about. That allowed him to put points on the board on that drive. Let's see how the rest of the game goes.
Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10
at their own 25-yard line. On play action, they'll throw.
Oh, his first throw of the game going to be intercepted. Picked off by Patrick Queen.
And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Now a 1st down carry for Harris. And he tries to power forward, but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Wilson. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack.
Buried for the sack by big Jalen Carter.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
On is the punter, Johnston now, as he sends this one away.
Yeah, that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
Play action. Here's Hurts.
Airing it out deep for Smith. And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown.
Devontae Smith.
53 yards.
And the Eagles are able to answer the early 3 points and take a first-quarter lead.
Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
From his end zone, here comes Patterson. And he probably wishes he would have sat on that one. Instead, he's only able to get this up beyond the 15-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
It was Josh Sweat who got him down on the defensive side. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Steeler football here to begin quarter number 2. Here's 2nd and 10. As they've got it as we resume action. And got his man complete. Down the sideline he goes. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh.
George Pickens,
82 yards.
And the Steelers are once again back in front.
Boswell good with the extra point, and the lead is now 10-7. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Here's Hurts to throw. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked off by Patrick Queen. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there. Got a nice interception and set up their offense in great shape.
Flush to his right. And he'll just get rid of it.
And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change the momentum.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now it's Wilson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after the last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Wilson. That throw finds Pickens in the end zone. Touchdown Steelers. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Steelers are able to widen their advantage. Extra point put through by Boswell. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
2nd down, here's Jalen Hurts. Got this complete to Jahan Dotson.
A big play there for Philly. 41 yards. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 34. Forced out to his left.
That is incomplete.
Partner, I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays because he's already been intercepted in this game. In the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
2nd down, here's Hurts.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down.
T.J. Watt, the all-pro, in there to take him down. This offense continues to shoot themselves in the foot. And here, another sack.
All game long, we've seen missed assignments, which have led to turnovers, sacks. This group has not played well at all here in the first half.
Escaping the pressure right. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it.
They go play action with Hurts.
He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
Here we go.
They'll try the right side with Harris. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. Second down. They run again with Harris. A yard in the wrong direction makes third down tougher. Third down and 9.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Wilson now off the bootleg. And this is going to be incomplete.
That might be the third down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
He gets us away. It's a good one. Drawing toward the sidelines. And out of bounds, sailed over, looked like right near the pylon. This one's going to be perfect. Directional kicking at its finest, right down at the 1-yard line.
Brandon, you're never quite sure what the side judge or the field judge is going to rule there. That was awfully close, but in the end, he says it passed over the 1-yard line, and that's where they're going to mark it out. I mean, you can see it right there, right? See him walking up the sideline? Told him to stop right there at the 1.
Taking it right down Broadway. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. Looking here for Smith downfield. And Hurts is intercepted, his third of the game. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
Williams being motioned left. After the interception, here's Wilson going up top. And he's going to look that one in one-handed. What a catch for the touchdown.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Boswell good with the extra point, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And with a 3-score deficit staring them in the face, they might have to press the issue here and try to get points out of this drive. He's got a man, complete. Through the middle of the field. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Devontae Smith. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Eagles get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. Eagles offense staying out there. Of course, Hurts always a threat to run. They'll go for 2. And he's got it for the 2-point conversion. So they tack on a pair more here to narrow that deficit a bit further. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. wisely just take a knee here, and this ball will come out to the 30-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Second and 10. It's Wilson again.
He'll get this to his tight end. That's Pat Freiermuth.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on first and 10. Now it's Wilson.
Here's Freiermuth again.
And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Right back to him for 10 more and a first.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Eluding the pressure right. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half.
Now second and 3.
From the shotgun, Wilson. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Now Wilson.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Boswell's kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. It's the Eagles ready to see the football first, and they trail here as we resume action in this 3rd quarter.
And we will not have a run back here as the second half starts with a touchback.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go.
This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the 3rd quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Burt sets up to throw it. It's complete to Brown, right side. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 36. Now this pass into the hands of Saquon Barkley. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
Hurts throw complete there to Smith. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Devontae Smith, 33 yards. And the Eagles are back within a score. Elliott good with a PAT. And that will get him one closer. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Patterson going to bring this out of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And maybe some renewed pressure on this unit following the touchdown a moment ago. It's back to a one-score game.
And because of that pressure, because it's now a one-score game, they know this is where you need to slow the momentum change, because otherwise that could overrun your team. You've got to be careful right here.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender, but the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. Here's Wilson. He's got his tight end Freiermuth right side. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
On the give, it's Warren. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
I know we can't hear what's going on in that huddle right now, but I'll guarantee you at least one offensive lineman is saying, my bad, we simply couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage. We've got to do a better job trying to root those guys out of there.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's a 2nd and 8. In motion comes the tight end left. On 2nd down, this is Harris. And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Harris. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Brought down that time by Nolan Smith.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Here's Wilson. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well, incomplete.
Pickens going in motion left. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout.
It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on third down. To throw is Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And they will not have time to get another play in here as time has run out on this third quarter. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Barkley inside handoff. And good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line. 17 yards and a first down for Philly.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. A handoff to Barkley, fighting him off. And they eventually get to him at the 17 after a pickup of 17 into the red zone, 1st down. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much through the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Man, not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, if they want to ride him down the stretch, he should have fresh legs.
They'll go to Barkley again. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. That's now 3 straight plays of over 15 yards and 3 straight first downs. Barkley will take this one in for an Eagles touchdown. So he had a nice run to get him down there. Was stopped just short of the goal line, but they go right back to him, CD, and he delivers to finish the drive off.
A little extra determination there, don't you think, partner? You notice he didn't tap on his helmet and say, get me out after the run down to the end zone. He said, I almost got in. I'm going to get in on my own. I'm staying in. And he carries it across the goal line.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. From his end zone, here comes Patterson. And he probably wishes he would have sat on that one. Instead, he's only able to get this up beyond the 15-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. The pressure is on now. They're being shut out here in the second half after a decent first half offensively. And they need their best drive of the game right here. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And that's incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Harris running straight ahead. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Flushed out right. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
Understanding he's just down 1 possession, trying to make something happen by extending the play, but the coverage downfield was excellent. He escaped and bought some time, but that one goes incomplete.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. Flush to his right. That is caught. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A defensive breakdown allows a pickup of 16 on 4th down. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
Now Wilson on 1st down.
That's complete to his tight end, Freiermuth.
And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
I don't care what sport you're playing. Everyone likes to build up a little momentum, don't they? And look at this, back-to-back completions to the big target at tight end.
That one not as profitable as the other, but still a decent gain. Three points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th.
They come up now on 2nd and 2.
They hand this off to Harris. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42.
Now you're right on the edge of field goal range. You've still got time, but get up to the line of scrimmage and get set.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive, take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
They'll come up now on 2nd down.
Here's another carry for Harris. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point you have to have a splash play in there as well.
The towels are waving. Steeler fans on their feet. It's 3rd down.
Here's Wilson. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. And that will tie this game here in the final minute of play. We've seen some big kicks in the NFL the last few years, and that one might just rank right up there.
And you know you can hear the crowd react, right? But I was focused in on the sideline and watched them absolutely erupt. I don't know how many of them thought that he was actually going to make that kick, but how about how they felt when the ball went over the post?
Here's 1st and 10. Throwing is Hurts.
Being chased out left. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. I see you nodding your head up and down. It's a very heady decision at this stage of the game. Out of the pocket, nowhere to go. Just get rid of it.
That's a smart play because you're not worried about your completion percentage, and you're also not trying to force it into bad traffic as well. Throw the ball away, live to fight another down.
Rolling to, and he can't get a throw away. He's taken down.
Alex Highsmith picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Now the Steelers use the 1st of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock.
A big play looming on 3rd down. Hurts. Alex Highsmith. 2 plays in a row now that he has gotten in there for the sack, and it brings up 4th down.
Well, this has to count as a great team effort today, but this man, he's been at the center of all of it. Really special day for any defense to have this many sacks in a game, even more so for this player. One of the best individual efforts of the season.
So it's the Steelers who will have the first chance to go down and score here in overtime as we are back underway. Patterson going to bring this out of the end zone. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. Here's Warren. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Hoping to keep this OT drive alive. Now they face a 3rd and 2. On the run, it's Warren. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. So a big move here, playing to win in overtime. They're going to go for it on 4th down. An audible here to get a new look. Fourth down. Here's Wilson. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A gigantic call there in overtime, but it pays off with a first down. And some courage there. Your side of the field in overtime first drive. Going for it. Wow, they got it, though.
Sometimes you have the feel that whether you turn it over on your side of the field or you punt it away to them and give them the ball, you're not going to be able to stop them anyway. They decided to gamble on themselves, and that was a big pickup.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. On the give, this is Harris. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. On 3rd and short, going with their tight end. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37.
How about that there? No frills, no additives, right? Nothing crazy. Just find a way to pick up the first down. A nice run right there.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Oh, and that is incomplete.
They decided to take a shot and right down the middle of the field, and really, they didn't give it as much time to develop, did they? They want to take that shot somewhere around the 15-yard mark.
And the defense able to recover, batted free. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They'll run with Harris.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
Coming up on a 3rd and 9. Opening drive of overtime as they look to convert. From the gun, it's Wilson. Finds Pickens out right. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to at least get him a lead here in overtime. Boswell's kick is good, and they have regained the lead. They're able to put 3 on the board here on the opening drive of OT, and now up to their defense to try and see if they can hold this one.
I like how you framed it up because obviously this game is not over, right? They go down and kick a field goal, then we head to sudden death. But if the defense can hold, take the ball away, turn it over on downs, this game's over.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Well, it's pretty simple now. They need a field goal out of this drive to extend overtime or obviously, Charles, a touchdown to win it.
Yeah, and I'm taking the defense's perspective on this one, partner, because now they know with a 3-point lead, they can afford to give that up because you just keep playing, right? Overtime gets extended. But if you give up the touchdown, it's game over. So on offense, every play you make, you've got to try and get just a little bit more out of each one in order to try and get to the end zone because they're going to play everyone back, keep everything in front.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. So a little chunk there on first as they try to chip away down 3 in overtime.
I like your description. Chip away, down 3. You don't have to get it all in one big play, although obviously that would be nice. But there's no need to have that type of risk associated with it. Run your offense, get first downs, get yourself in a position where you know you're going to at least get 3 and keep this game going. If you get 6, so much the better.
2 yards still to go. 3rd down now. And he's got the first down yardage there as he takes it just across midfield. A first down carry for Barkley. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Off the play fake, here's Hurts. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And he works free. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 21. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
I'll give them credit for a good read right there because they read the man coverage on the right side and sent the tight end a few steps down the field and then angled him to the left on a crossing route. And he was able to get enough separation on this play to turn it into a nice gain.
Up the middle with Barkley. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. They've had some success here in overtime in this opening drive running the football right back to that well.
And why not? When you have that kind of success, make them stop you. And until they do, keep going back to that well you just spoke about. I think there's more water there and available to them.
2 yards to go, 2nd down. They'll run it again with Barkley. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 112 yards rushing now for Barkley. It's a first down. And I know you with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. Here's a give to Barkley. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. 4 yards there on the touchdown run. But Charles, a very simple mission anytime that you play on your home